our favorite day of the week, Thursday, where we do Tarot Thursday. And we have our host, Reverend Mary Hawk, along with her guest, Gail Tracy Mull. The great Gail Tracy Mull. I say that twice fast. It's hard. That should
Right.
be hard as third time. Gail Tracy Mull of the great Gail Tracy Mull's show
Yes.
on every Tuesday night on Peggy World TV. And she's a round now psychic. And she is going to be with us tonight to do readings and everything else with it. And you're awfully green tonight, Mary.
Yes, I will.
She
And
looks
Gail,
fabulous.
thanks so much for joining me tonight.
I appreciate you having me. I do the East Texas Psychic Fair here in Texas. And I love doing readings, but most of the time I don't do readings at the fair because I want to give other people their chance to shine. And I absolutely love readings. So it's a good night.
All right. So if anyone watching has a question, please post it for us in the chat. And Gail, how long have you been doing readings while we're waiting for a question?
I have done readings at least 30 years. I started out, a friend taught me years and years and years ago. And it was back whenever it was even hard to find cards. You know, I didn't know where to get them whenever I was young like that. It took me forever to find my own deck.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we've got 2 requests. It is Brian Ellicott has asked for a card. And also, it is Neil Goodman's birthday today. He is the host of Chasing the Endless Summer. So we're going to do a birthday reading for him. But go ahead and pull a card for my friend and brother, Brian, first.
Well, let's see what I pull for Brian. I can do that.
Right.
And I got out my standard white deck tonight. Just because I think people identify really well with them.
Okay.
Let's see what we get for you. King of Swords. So I would say, Brian, that you are very thoughtful about something. You have really been analyzing what your next step is. And you're thinking very carefully about what you want to speak and what your words and actions are going to be.
And I have pulled the 8 of Wands. So I'm going to say that there is some conflict going on here. And you need to consider carefully what your next move is going to be. And I'm going to pull one more card on that. Now, the next card I get is the 7 of Lamps. And lamps being around spirituality. And with the 7, we're talking about some introspection. We have the divine feminine and the moon. So I'm going to say what you need to do at this point is, like I said, take some time to consider your next move and call upon the divine for inspiration.
I agree. And maybe you just got too much going on. That's what I think of this as being. So, like I said, consider your words and thoughts really carefully.
And yes, Randy, we can see you. And now let's both pull 3 cards for a birthday reading for Neil.
Okay, let's see what Neil needs to know for his birthday.
Okay.
Let's see here. You want to go first or you want me to?
I will go first.
Okay.
So my first card is, and I'm trying to get it on camera better. Here we go. The Five of Cups. So fives are around generally taking things in a different direction. Cups are around our emotions. So there's something in the emotional relationship level that you need to be looking at. Then we have the Ace of Swords. So swords are about air, communication. So focus on communication this year. And finally, we have, here we go, the heart. So again, a lot about choices around emotions. So there's going to be a lot of emotional energy and a lot about communication this year, Neil. And again, a very happy birthday to you.
Well, now then, let's see what I get for Neil's birthday. I start out with the sun. And considering that it is technically your solar return, I think that this is a very nice card for us to start with.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
don't hesitate to say
hesitate
that
to
maybe it
maybe
is
it's
a year whenever there is going to be a rebirth in what you do, that maybe you're really going to stop and take stock of life and maybe take off on a new trajectory, a new career, a new relationship, the birth of new things for you. Um, but just know that that is not going to make everybody in your life happy. That's okay. It's about you making you happy. All of these people that are going to be upset, I want you to think about it and to think about whether they actually matter in the scheme of your life or whether they're just using you, and if they're not really worth it. And your outcome is the Page of Wands. And, the pages are young people. So I think it's looking at the world from a younger perspective and deciding what you want to be whenever you grow up. I have no idea what this age is that you are for this birthday, but you know, you're never too old to change. And I think that this year holds the promise of you doing some really new and intuitive things in your life. So I wish you much luck and a very happy birthday.
all right. So happy birthday, Neil. And we've got a request from Heather for a reading. So, and sorry, I was shuffling and dropped my cards. So yes, Heather, we'll be happy to do a reading for you. And Brian, you're very welcome.
Yes, it makes me happy readings for people.
And I will mention that in March, Gail and I are going to be launching our show, Everything Psychic.
Yes, you can actually tune in and talk to us about cards or get readings, or there's pendulums, there's oracles. Between me and Mary,
And
I a
numerology.
lot about different, yes, numerology. We have a lot of different reading mediums available to the two of us.
So we'll be launching that on Fridays in March, but Tarot Thursday will continue. And so let's see what I have got here for Lee. All right, so the first card I have is the Three of Lamps, and I am reading with the Infinite Tarot. Lamps is the suit of spiritual matters, And I read as a numerologist. 3 relates to creativity. So I'm going to say you will approach your spirituality in a creative manner. My next card is the 4 of Swords. Swords are around air, communication. 4 has to do a lot of times with hard work, discipline. And then my final card for you is the Ace of Wands. And the Ace is the first card. Wands is the suit of fire. A lot of times this also relates to our careers or our hobbies, the things we're passionate about. So what I'm going to say is you need to be approaching things with some creativity. You need to be careful around your communication. Be very diligent with how you communicate with the people in your life. But there is something new happening for you in the area of your career or your hobby, the things that you like to work with. Okay, Gail?
You want me to go ahead and do Heather?
Yes.
Heather, you got some messages coming. I switched my cards. I absolutely love this deck. It is the Wild Unknown Tarot. If you're wanting a new deck, I highly recommend it. Absolutely love it. But Heather, I would say whenever I get the Son of Swords, this is messages, and the messages are coming hard and quick and dirty. I would not miss my guess that it's really important that you tuned in tonight and you're needing confirmation of something. I think that there is a new window of opportunity moving in for you. Once again, this is a 3, and I think Mary got a 3 for you as well. Am I correct? So maybe
You are.
3 days, maybe we're coming up on the 3rd month of the year. So it's coming pretty quick. Whatever it is, there's going to be a new window of opportunity. And we got 2 cards with that one. This is something that you've been waiting on a long time. I mean, you have been working on whatever this is for quite some time, and not everybody has been as supportive as you would have liked. Use your intuition. Use your intuition, and I think that there's some things that are going to move you further along the path that you've been wanting to take. And I wish you luck with that. So there we go.
And there is Heather, and now Randy has asked for a reading.
I'm glad you're keeping up. We've got a list of people here.
We've got Randy, Marilyn, and then Mark so far.
Okay.
So Randy next.
Yeah. Let's see what we get from Randy. I do not know what it is you are asking about, Randy, but I sort of really like the blind readings because then we can know how well they speak to you.
Okay.
So, Randy, we start you off with the Lovers. So whatever your question is about, it's what you're passionate about. Now, then this does not necessarily have to be physical lovers. It can just be about your passion, what you're really, really into. So for whatever reason, that is what is coming up right now. You're working on something that you're really passionate about. And we get the 4 of Pentacles. So you're actually in balance. And I think that the money is finally here for you to do this, that you're passionate about. But I suspect you're a bit scared because you're like, oh my God. And look, this is what we come out with. We come out with the death card, which, okay, death does not mean death, people. And I hope you know that because you're listening to a tarot show. You're actually um, at the end of a cycle and the beginning of another one. And Randy, I would say you got big things happening, big things. And instead of being scared about them, say, woohoo, yay, my big things are finally here. Because looking at these cards, they are.
Okay.
About
So I have pulled Judgment.
oh, that's a big
And
card.
that's a big card. And this is probably about a decision, either something you've made or a decision someone has made about you, although I'm thinking it's something you've made. We have the Two of Wands, and wands are about, again, our professions. So I'm thinking it's a decision about your profession, and two is about cooperation. So you're working with someone on it. And finally, we have Magic, and it's tending to bleed into my background here because it's a plain white card. But what this represents is by magic, we can take a blank slate and create what we want. So you can manifest what you want out of this situation, Randy.
And it looks like Randy is confirming that over here in the chat.
So you are.
Yes. So I am so glad that you messaged tonight, Randy. It's always good to get confirmations. And apparently that comes from Mary and I both. That it's a big time in your life, and that was a good move, changing your major.
It was. And remember, you have the ability to manifest what you want out of this situation.
Absolutely.
Okay, next up is Marilyn. All right.
Okay, let's see what we have for Marilyn. Marilyn. Let's see here. What is the message from Marilyn? Well, that's a very nice card to start with, Marilyn. Now then, sometimes people look at this and they just see a bunch of pentacles floating there, but I see that it's success, and you're actually coming into a very successful time. Once again, something you waited on for a very long time. But there is a man in your life. I feel a little bit of misgivings about this, and I don't know why. It's the Father of Cups. So he's an emotional man. I don't know exactly what I feel about him, but I think that maybe you're releasing him or releasing some emotions about him. It's hard whenever I don't have the person in front of me. This is different. Uh, and then your outcome is that you're on an absolutely new journey. So I would bet that you have done some real emotional work on releasing some of your past, and you feel sort of newborn. You feel like you're on to the next stage. What do you get, Mary?
All right. First card is the Queen of Lamps. Again, lamps is the spiritual suit, and the Queen is going to represent a woman with mastery in this situation. So you have been doing a lot of spiritual work. And then we have the 10 of Lamps, with the 10 showing a good deal of balance here, with both the sun and the moon coming over the shoulders. We also see the lightning. So this represents again, a lot of spiritual mastery, spiritual attainment. You have been doing a lot of spiritual work, with our final outcome being the Two of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles is around our money or our physical resources, and two is a card of cooperation. So I'm seeing that the work you've been doing is paying off, and there's going to be some sort of a new partnership you are manifesting that is going to be a very profitable one for you.
New beginning of some sort. She's got new beginnings on the horizon. And so,
Okay. And hi to Dominic
yes,
and
I've got several people.
Randy. Yes, you took a risk, but you can make this work. Heather, you are welcome, and I see that 3 is your favorite number. And hello to Gerjant. And now we're up to a reading for Mark.
Well, let's see what we have for Mark. The reason I blow on them in between is to clear the energy, and I knock on them too to clear the energy from one of you to the next. So you're not getting somebody else's vibes. So, Mark, you feel like somebody isn't being very honest in your life, and it's emotional honesty. You're rather suspicious about something that is going on. Don't know if it's personal life or work life, but you're not really happy about something. Or if you're not happy about something, there's somebody that probably you shouldn't be trusting that much. And if you think about it, you'll know who it is. I think that you are at a point in your life where you've got a lot of dreams, you've got a lot of ambitions, but you're a little bit lost in them. You don't know which dream and which ambition you want to follow. Follow the one that shines the brightest, one that you have had the longest. Okay. The prayer that I pray whenever I don't know which thing to do next is it's all in divine order. You give it to God as you say, please, please, please show me so clearly I cannot do anything else. And whenever you do that, tell it yellow brick road, neon sign, give me a sign. And whenever you do that, you will get your message and the way will become clear. So I think you have somebody to let go of. I think you need to focus on your dreams and you need to ask Goddess and say, show me what I need to be doing right now. And the window of opportunity will open. It will.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right. So my first card for you is the moon. And this is showing a ritual by moonlight. And I will also echo that sometimes things seen at night are deceptive. And so test what you are seeing. Next, we have the Seven of Pentacles. This represents some sort of lack in the physical realm, some sort of issue with resources. And it can also just indicate some time alone. And then we have another 7, the 7 of Cups, which means that many choices are being presented to you at this time. So I'm going to tell you, you need to weigh your options very carefully. Do take counsel however you view the divine, God, goddess, your higher self.
Yes.
You have many options to choose from, but you need to choose wisely.
Yes. And I noticed Marilyn said that her ex-husband died 14 months ago. So hopefully that was the person that she was working on releasing. Thank you. It always helps me whenever you confirm things for me, because just like you, it helps to know that we picked up on what people needed to hear.
Hi, Jeffrey. We are glad to see you live as well. Hi, Kelly.
And
We're
all
glad to
from
see you from
Australia.
Australia. That
Yeah,
is wonderful.
that is
And
so cool.
and Jeffrey will be happy to do a reading for you.
Hmm. Well, let's see what we have for Jeffrey. Hmm. Let's see here. Oh, the cards are lively for Jeffrey. Jeffrey, for whatever reason, you need a lot of courage right now. And you know what? I think it takes courage just to get up out of bed in today's world. But you need courage right now, and you do have a lot of courage and you have a lot of strength. Um, Once again, this card of success keeps on coming up for people. You're coming into a successful time. Um, Whatever job it is or whatever money making venture that you've been waiting on, I think that it is finally on the horizon. Father of Pentacles, which this is would be the King of Pentacles, and he is about earthly matters. He is about money. He is about physical reality. So I think that your courage is carrying you through to success and to finally getting to do whatever in the heck it is that you have been striving to do. That's what I get for you.
All right. And hi, Rhonda, who's new here. Welcome. We're glad you joined us.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, the first card I get for you is the Eight of Cups. So you are being beset by fears, but this is a card of nightmares. And when you examine them in the daylight, they're not as bad as they seem. So there is a need for courage, but it's truly not as bad as you maybe are making it out to be. Our next card is the Five of Lamps. Lamps are about spirituality. Fives, a lot of times, tell us we need to think outside the box. So, whatever your situation is, step back and look at it in a different light. And finally, we have the Three of Pentacles, this being around your resources. Threes having to do a lot of times with artistic creativity. So you're looking at some sort of artistic endeavor and it's going to be successful. And Jeffrey says he's got a lot going on.
And he said that the courage made sense. Yeah.
Okay, so the next person to ask for a reading is Kelly.
Mhm.
All righty.
You want to do Kelly or you want me to?
You can start with Kelly. I'm still clearing my cards here.
Cards up. Let's see here. Well, Kelly, we've got a lot of sun energy tonight. This is the sun. So, once again, a new time of coming into being for you. the birth of something, the sun is shining. Um, and that is in direct relationship to the fact that you have gotten rid of some people, or you are going to, or you are on the other side of a cycle in your life. A lot of times, whenever I get this particular card, which is the Five of Swords, I think of it as there was then and now there's now. And so, whatever your past is, I think you're putting your past behind you and you're moving on into a new future. Um, and I suspect that things feel like they have crawled along for you for a very long time, Kelly. But all of a sudden, you're going to look up and things are going to move really, really fast. Um, and she's going, "Oh, thank God." I can hear her saying it. It's about time things finally move fast. They're going to move fast finally. And you may not get everything you want, but it will be fair whatever you get. So it's time to move on, time for things to move fast, and just to go on past whatever it is you've been dealing with, Kelly. So,
All right. And my first card for you is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant, a lot of times represents ordered authority. Can be religious in nature. So you've been dealing with an authority figure of some kind. Next, we have the King of Wands. So I see things moving for you in a big way in your work or career life. And then we have the Princess of Wands. So I see you coming into some real mastery here. I believe this card really represents you. So what you have been working on, you have been dealing with some blockages put in place, but you've worked through them and you are in mastery of this situation now.
I like what Jeffrey had to say. He said that yours and I's reading worked really well together for him. And
Mhm.
that's how it should be. They should flow together.
Yes, it is. And yes, Amanda, you are up next, actually, and then Catherine.
Okay.
And I'm glad you are finding our readings useful.
Yes. I don't know about you, Mary, but I always find it wonderful whenever our readings really speak to them.
Oh, I do too.
It's about people getting their messages, and whenever we don't have any real contact with you other than the cards, it's really a nice way for you to be able to get your messages. It is.
It is. It
It's
really shows that this is a spiritual tool because we're not cold reading you. We don't have people peppered in the crowd chatting you up and whispering your secrets before you get to us.
Yeah, and it's just as affirming for us as it is for you guys whenever you tell us whether we hit it or we don't, so that it gives you the courage to keep on doing this for people, because it is something to sit here and tell people things about their life and you never even met them.
It is. It is.
Really is, because you know I, I have learned just to trust my messages and to let them come through, but it's taken me
Mhm.
many years to get there. So,
And I'm sliding my chair again. Of course
oh,
I am.
that's always fun. Amanda. So, I get the Magician for you. We've had a lot of major cards tonight, and I
We
want
have.
I want to tell you, whenever we get major cards, that means that major things are going on in your life. It's not just little bitty things, these are big things. And I think that that's just sort of a point that everybody that's in this world that is waking up to their spirituality is at. There's a lot of major things happening for us. But Amanda starts out with the Magician, and the Magician is about mastery. It is about having control of your magic and being in balance with it. And I would say, Amanda, that whenever you want to, you can manifest just about anything you want to manifest. And you know this about yourself. Now, then you may get sort of lost in knowing what you want, but once you do, it's done. Um, 10 of Cups. Whatever it is that you are wanting to manifest, you will be successful at it. But there may be a little bit of a time lag because it's the Four of Swords and rest. So you've been putting out a lot of effort, you've been seeing what you want to manifest, but it's not necessarily coming just like boom. And that is bugging you because you're used to it being really easy. And it's not that you're not going to get what you're working on. It's just that you need to stop and breathe and enjoy your life a little bit and enjoy the journey of getting where you're going. Um, but know that the divine has your back. It is going to happen. It's just not happening as fast as you would like.
Okay.
So what
So
do you
my
got, Miss Amanda?
I have the Queen of Cups. First of all, Cups is about our emotions, and the Queen is a woman in the mastery of the situation. Then we have the Princess of Cups. So we have them together. So this indicates you've been doing a lot of emotional work, and there is at least one other woman involved in the situation you're dealing with. And then we've got our friend, the Eight of Cups, coming back to visit. So I want to again emphasize there is something that you're afraid of, but like all nightmares, when you look at it in the cold light of day, it's not as scary as it is in the dark. So look at it carefully, but you have the ability to deal with whatever it is you're afraid of. You can work through it and work past it.
Mm. And I want to say hi to Rose Hooven out there. She's one of my people that comes to East Texas Psychic Fair. So thanks for getting on and supporting us tonight, Rose. But right now we have a reading for Catherine, I believe, was next. Am I correct in that? Is
Yes,
that
Catherine is next.
mm,
And
mm. Okay, well, that wanted to come out for Catherine. So let's see what goes from there.
okay, just a moment.
Uh, Catherine, I would say that you have been feeling like you're at a standstill, not going forward, not going back. And it's like you're waiting on whatever the next thing is. And I know how frustrating that can be, but sometimes we need that little respite to live our life. And sometimes we have to have that still pause before we go on to the next thing. And this is, let's see, the 9 of Wands, but I think of this card as going on a journey and seeking out your intuition and your higher spirituality. So you're probably opening up now to a spiritual journey. And it may not necessarily be an easy journey for you. There is what we call the dark night of the soul. And I hate to say that to people, but I think that you are coming out the other side of a higher life path journey. But sometimes we have to look at hard things in order to get to the good parts. And I suspect that that is the journey you are on. But at the end of that journey, you will find your own magic and you will find your own mastery. So just keep on walking. You will get there. You will get there.
Okay. And now I have, first of all, the Seven of Swords, and this is a card of victory. So there is a conflict, but you will be victorious. Next, we have the Prince of Lamps. And this, of course, relates to spirituality. And I'm getting the impression that this may be a spiritual mentor. Someone you have met or you will meet. And then finally, we have the Tower. So this represents a huge change in your life. A lot of times when the Tower comes up, it means your life is going to be totally shaken up and everything will change. And it's oftentimes not pleasant when we're going through the Tower. I've had several Tower experiences that made me scream and cry. Now, when I came out the other side, what I learned and what I manifested through that created a much better reality. And this is the price of growth, is what I'm seeing here. This is the price of your spiritual growth.
Yeah, it's the price of being on a spiritual path. Sometimes you have to go through the darkness to get to the other side. Hello to Miss Amber Sheffield. I'm glad to see you here tonight.
Yeah, Catherine, it can be an eek moment, but I remind you of the 7 card. This is a card of strength and victory.
Yeah, she's definitely going to be successful at what she's doing. It's going to take a bit.
It will take a bit and it will not be easy, but nothing worth attaining is ever easy.
No.
And as Gail said, there's the long, dark night of the soul, but when we come out of it, what we have attained is worth it.
Absolutely. And she is going to come into some strong magic whenever she comes through it. She is going to be much further on her spiritual path whenever she comes through it. Miss Amanda, I think, had asked, is she the next reading, Miss Mary?
Let's see.
I think it was.
We have done Amanda Rose Hooven.
Yes.
And I do not see that anyone else has asked for a reading. I believe we are caught up on reading requests right now.
Mm-hmm. So if anybody else wants a reading, they need to post. But right now we will do Miss Amanda.
Which Amanda? Amanda Sheffield?
No, that's Amber Sheffield. Amanda Rose Hooven, I believe, asked for a reading.
I thought we did one for Amanda.
I didn't think we did Amanda's.
I thought we did.
I don't think
Amanda,
so.
did we get your reading? Yes, she said exactly right.
Okay, I don't see her. I thought we were doing Catherine that last one.
Okay.
So
Well,
are we on
we
you, Amanda, or are we on?
we are caught up at this point,
Okay.
and we have been at it for a little over 45 minutes.
Oh, it
If
seems like it has flown by, doesn't it?
it does, if nobody else wants a reading, we are going to wrap up here. If you are enjoying Pagan World TV, I am going to ask if you would support us, please, at witchstarter.com. You can pledge as little as $10 to support us for our second season. You can also get a grab bag with goodies, and you can get a consultation that is a reading with several of our different show hosts, including myself and Gail, if you would like to do that. So again, please do check us out at witchstarter.com. We certainly do appreciate your support. And Gail, would you like to close us out with a blessing tonight?
Oh, definitely. I am very blessed to be doing this. It's leading my best life. I think Mary feels the same way. These are things that we have waited literally our entire lives to do. And I think all of you who are tuning in are on that same journey with us. I mean, we actually have a Pagan World TV. And whoever thought that we would see that in our lifetimes, people? I mean, it is a true blessing. And I ask that all of you just let's share in the gratitude of that moment. And I ask blessings upon each and every one of you who have tuned in and supported us tonight. I ask you to spread the word about Pagan World TV. If you can, donate to the Witch Starter. But know that we are absolutely blessed to have been here and shared this time with you together. Thank you. Blessed be.
Blessed be everyone. Thank
Good
you
night.
for joining us tonight.